Merry North London Derby Day, people. It's myself, Gav Mack and Alex Osborn for the Saturday review of Game Day 35. How are you, dude?
Very well, thank you very much. Very much looking forward to that game later on.
Yes, me too. Me too. There's plenty happening today. And we're all over the airlines today, so you'll be able to see this right now, as you can see it on all social media. You actually see it on my personal Facebook as well today, and on Twitch. What? And on Periscope. What? I don't even know what they are, but we're live on those as well as YouTube. You should subscribe to our YouTube channel. All the details just down there at To Up Top Football. Right then, let's get our teeth into what happened yesterday, because there were some shocking results that happened yesterday, which, you know, it confused and defied the laws of football, frankly. So let's get Liverpool out of the way, because they drew one apiece with Burnley. The goals from Robertson. What a header that was, by the way. And Jay Rodriguez can't stop. Jay Rodriguez can't stop scoring at the moment. He's having a lovely time. But Liverpool's home winning record is the first time they haven't failed to win. The first time they failed to win at home in the league in 18 months. But they still remain unbeaten.
I mean, let's be honest, it's still a tremendous record, isn't it? I mean, you'll take that all day.
Oh, all day. Yeah. I mean, like Liverpool, they peppered in the first half, and Burnley just couldn't get at them at all. And then, yeah, the goal finally came. And at that point, I think they had like 80% possession as well. They're absolutely slappage. Then Burnley, yes, they found a way of coming back. Now, there's a bit of controversy behind that, because the free kick that led to the goal was for offside. But we've had a look, and neither Mane or Salah were in offside position.
What would be a Premier League game without some sort of controversy? Maybe, there seems to be anything that can happen these days. When you analyze, and when you've got cameras and you've got VAR, and it's just analyzing every minuscule moment, you can always find something wrong with anything. And yeah, that's obviously what's happened there.
Good finish, though, from J-Rod. And then there was a little bit more controversy with the potential penalty shout, that Liverpool felt that they should have had a penalty. And I don't know whether Westwood actually got a touch of the ball or not.
I don't think so. I'm not sure either.
For me, that's a pen.
You
And
think?
Liverpool have every right to be aggrieved by it. I feel like he's caught the man before he's got the ball. And if you do that, it's right on the line of the box. So if you do it on the line of the box, then it's a penalty. On the line is inside the box. So that is that's that one. What we got there? You started to realise there'd be main Jason Wardell started to realise that there'd be Millwall's main rivals, and left. That's exactly what happened there. Right. Norwich, they've been relegated, and it was only a matter of time. Hello there, dear. We're just walking straight past. Norwich 0, West Ham 4. Norwich, it was only a matter of time before they went down. I remained hopeful for them, because I like to be, I felt sorry for them more than anything else, but they've not been good enough. And we played 35 games. If you're not good enough after 35, 38 games, you're going to be in the bottom three, and that's Norwich there.
Yeah. I mean, I think this one was kind of cool quite early on, wasn't it? Really. I think we could kind of see that. Yeah, they looked to play entertaining football, but at the end of the day, didn't score enough goals, and they were just too open at the back. And I think this is like their third or fourth 4-0 slapping they've had in the last few weeks. I swear, because Arsenal beating 4-0, got West Ham beating them 4-0. Didn't they lose 4-0 against? I can't remember who it was the other day as well. I'm sure that that's like 12 goals conceded in 3 games, and if you don't score, Norwich were just. I think they were just too naive at the end of the day.
Yeah, we spoke about Mikel Antonio not too long ago, and we're not quite sure what he is and what he's about and that sort of stuff. And since then, he's just been scoring goals for fun, and he scored all 4 goals.
Well, didn't he? Isn't he doubled his tally for the season in one game?
In one game, yeah.
Yeah.
He absolutely loves it.
For me, that is the big story from yesterday. Is Michael Antonio scored 4 goals in one game? I never saw that coming. I mean, what odds would you have got on him scoring 4 goals yesterday?
Well, put it this way: scoring a hat trick, you would have got good odds because that's his first career hat trick in his
Yeah.
386th game, and not just that, it's the first time that West Ham have scored an away hat trick in the league since Paul Kitson in 2001.
Wow.
So yeah, you would have got some shiny odds. And Jamie Elliott is watching the show. You'll be able to watch him on Three in the Ball, the darting podcast on Wednesday nights. Norwich were doomed after 10 games. Well, I wouldn't say they were doomed after 10 games. Let's go back to that one. Sorry, there. I'm coming back to you in a minute, Sava, because we're going to see a lot of you today. Yeah, Norwich looked okay in the first 10 games or so. I felt they did, and they were unlucky in games. And then after that, they just couldn't buy a win. I think the City game got to their head, and they weren't able to capitalise off the back of that. Souček almost scored again. Cotton and I predicted that he was going to bag, and it was a really nice hit on the half turn as well. Really strong arm from Tim Krul. I was thinking, no, again.
Here's a question for you then. You're West Ham. Are you looking to buy Souček next year? Are you looking to bring them in? I mean,
I think so.
It's no coincidence that since he's come into the side, West Ham have just gone on this little run. Just a run that we were talking about, which would lift a team out of the relegation zone, and they're pretty much safe now, I reckon.
He does a lot in the middle of the park that you don't realise.
Yeah.
You know, you think, who's this Souček? Hold on a minute, he's clearing the ball off the line. Hold on a minute, he's on the edge of the box. You know, he's got energy, mate, and like they'll be able to get him for next to nothing. Surely won't be any more than 10 million. You know, money doesn't travel very far in that part of Europe, so I'm sure they'll be able to get him on the cheap. And Sava, just coming to Sava's comment there, I imagine that's about Mikel Antonio. Is he too good for West Ham? I think West Ham is his level, and that's no disrespect to Antonio. Where would he be able to go and start games? What position would he play in? You know, sometimes he turns up at right wing back. Sometimes he turns up as a shadow striker. Sometimes he is the man straight through the middle. Sometimes he's playing centre mid. He needs to find a position that he can then hone his skills at, rather than just lob him on anywhere and here, there, and anywhere.
I think West. I mean, and look, there's no shame in being a Premier League player playing for a team. At that level, West Ham really should be. I know you don't like them. You kind of wanted them to get to get relegated, but
I did, yeah.
I know their fans can have a sort of, and this is, I suppose, this goes for a number of fans of clubs, but they kind of view them as better than what they really are. But West Ham are a Premier League club. They've always been one of England's traditional clubs, haven't they? And I think there's nothing wrong with being able to play well for that type of team. I mean, I wouldn't say he's too good for West Ham. I think he's at the right level, as you say. He's a very versatile. So maybe he's obviously, what's the saying, master of all, jack of all trades. Which may also apply to Jack Grealish. You know, if we sort of link it to them.
Sava would have him at Spurs in a heartbeat by the looks of it. So that means you have found your level. You are West Ham in disguise. Watford, they look like they're staying up. I'm going to get hammered in about an hour's time. Oh, God. I should have kept myself to myself then. Watford, they look like they will be surviving now. I wanted them to go down, just see a couple of meltdowns. But at the end of the day, Watford are finding results at the right time. The last 2 games, they've been down by a goal and they've come back to win. And that is a mentality that you need at this time. Yes, exactly. You need that at this time of the year. Newcastle were on top for a decent period in the game, but then Watford, as soon as the second half started, they were at them, and they weren't taking any prisoners. Both the goals from penalties, Troy Deeney from the spot on both occasions. I think the penalties were a bit soft, both of them, but at the same time, they were penalties.
Yeah, and I think this was also a case of one team had something to play for, the other team maybe potentially has kind of checked out for the season. You know, Newcastle did kind of go ahead there. But as you saw, Watford's reaction after half time was like, guys, if we don't do something about this, we're in trouble. So yeah, that extra motivation showed in their play and their endeavour. And yeah, Troy Deeney stepping up for Watford.
I trust Troy Deeney to take penalties. In fact, do you know what we're going to do on a top 5? We're going to say top 5 Premier League penalty takers, because I trust Troy Deeney with my house if he's taking a penalty, because he could. Yeah, he finds the back of the net. He knows exactly what he's doing. 2 results that happened yesterday. One's a bit of a shock. One is not. The first one, which is not a shock, is City 5-0 against Brighton. Brighton, they're pretty much safe now as well. I don't think they really gave that much of a rat's bottom as to what happened yesterday. It's nice to see Sterling get a hat-trick as well.
I was just about to say that. That's the pleasing thing from yesterday.
Yeah, Bernardo Silva on the score sheet. Jesus, he's not been scoring of late, and it was a tap in. But, you know, they can't come any lower than second. They can't win the title, obviously. City are comfortable. And tomorrow is D-Day for them. But there's a lot of reports saying that they will be playing Champions League football next season. So I'm very intrigued to see how that meeting at CAS goes. It's, in terms of City, myself and Cotton were speaking about it on the show yesterday. So frustrating. Why isn't Phil Foden starting this type of game?
Yeah, it is frustrating, but at the same time, I suppose he's still a youngster, isn't he? So we don't want him to burn out later in his career. He wants to have a long and prosperous career. You know, you saw what happened with Michael Owen. He burned out early, didn't he? And you don't want that to happen to Phil Foden. But at the same time, you want to see him play. And I think a lot of football fans want to see him play, because it's like when you watch Mason Greenwood or Jadon Sancho, you just can see the Kylian Mbappe. You know, you can just see the obvious talent is there, and it just excites you, isn't it? You want to be excited when you watch a football player or a football game, and those are the types of players that you want to see, because they can do things that other players just can't do.
Yeah, it's just at this time of the season, nothing else to play for.
I get it.
I want to see some more of him and get him in the mood and ready for the Champions League, because I think he has an opportunity to play a key part in the Champions League run-up. So I think we need to see some more, see regular Phil Foden. And the shocking result from yesterday, I don't think anyone predicted this one. Sheffield United 3, Chelsea 0.
So this is one game that I didn't actually see live, because I was out playing cricket. But when I saw it, and there's a lad that I was playing cricket with yesterday, he's a Sheffield United fan. He was absolutely bouncing and buzzing off the walls yesterday. He was going crazy. He was absolutely loving it, which I'm not surprised. I can't blame him, but my God, I did not see that coming at all. Especially McGoldrick bagging as well. It's been a while since he bagged last as well.
Well, it's his first Premier League goals.
There you go.
He scored his first goal of the season against Arsenal in the FA Cup, and now he's on a bit of a run. He can't stop scoring. There's a comment there from Lawrence. This result fucked everyone's pools and scorers soccer results yesterday. Yes, it did. I'm not being funny. That was an absolute acca buster. But I know there's some sick perverts out there that would have put that on and the correct score and be cleaning up and dancing down to laddies right now. Other bookies are available to pick up their winnings. But Chelsea, this has put them in a bad position now, because if City do have their Champions League situation overturned, if results go against them, they will be starting game day 36 in 5th place.
It's Chelsea have been so up and down. I think because I know a lot. I have been reading some of the sort of like reaction to the game yesterday on Twitter and other social media, and it appears that a lot of Chelsea fans are getting stuck into Tammy Abraham They're not happy with him. And I think Tammy Abraham's kind of like a symptom of actually Chelsea as a whole. They've tried to go younger, okay, and the problem is when you do that, young players are going to go through peaks and form, so they look really good. Like, I mean, he's got 14 goals in the Premier League this season. That's a decent
It's not a
return
bad return. Yeah.
For a player playing at this level for the first time, really.
Yeah.
But the problem is that a lot of those 14 goals came in like a really short period of time. It's not spread out throughout the season. So,
and barring the Arsenal game, against lesser, like lower, like bottom 10 sides as well, a lot of those goals. So I think is
it's
he
going to
not going
happen.
to
I
the
mean,
big games?
again, I'll look at it. I'll say this: Didier Drogba, he didn't really start scoring regularly until he's 26. 26, 27. That's when he really started to hit his. I mean, he was a good player before that, but it wasn't until he started like, that kind of age when he was starting to score like regular 20 plus goals a season, 25 plus goals a season. And we can't all be Messi, can't be all Ronaldo or what appears to be, Mbappe, players who can just go from the word go. It takes a little bit of game experience, match experience to learn what kind of runs you want to make, where the holes are, where you want to be in the box. His skills are there. You've got to look at it. He has the skills, he has the ability. He just needs the experience of match days. What kind of routine you're going to be in on the match days, how are you preparing in training before that, all of that stuff. It just takes experience. Just like any job that you do, you start a new job. You kind of unsure a little bit to start off with. You're trying to find your feet, and then 3-4 months down the line, because you're doing it day in day out, you kind of get into a routine and you start to like really hit your stride, don't you? It's the same thing for footballers, okay? Especially youngsters who have never played at this level and they're coming through and they've always been like at youth level, they've been the best. You can see that they've got the talent, but when you're playing against other men and other knowledgeable pros, then it's a whole new experience, isn't it? It's a whole new level that you have to learn, and it takes its time. So I just hope that they don't bail on Abraham, Mount, and all these other youngsters, because they clearly got some. I think they've got some talent anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree. Right then, let's have a look forward to today's games, and in particular, you can watch along with us.
You could be watching it in the pub.
Or maybe you're watching it at home.
You can even watch it in Dubai.
You might be watching as a neutral after your boys just won the playoff final.
It doesn't matter where you're watching it, watch it with us.
Tottenham versus Arsenal, live watch along on Facebook and YouTube on Sunday the 12th of July at 4:15 p.m. I'll do on it.
We're going to go there next. So Tottenham versus Arsenal, 4:15 today. The North London derby. It's the first time in God knows how long since the North London derby doesn't really matter in terms of league position, but it means everything for pride of North London. And it's the first time that Arsenal will be playing at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Arsenal hat on, where do you see the score going? And football hat on, where do you see the score going?
I don't know. I don't really know how to pick this one. I know Spurs are doing their best to flounder, but it's the North London derby, and Arsenal's record away to Spurs is not very good, or hasn't been very good in recent memory, has it? I don't think we've won there for a while.
Yeah, it's not the greatest record, but Arsenal have got a different setup at the moment, and despite the two games that happened in like straight after lockdown, they've been in good form. And
yes,
can't really say so much about Tottenham at the moment.
Yeah, as I say, when you look at this year as a whole, Arsenal's form, especially domestically, has been great. Especially when you compare it to what came in the first half of the season.
Yeah, definitely.
It's I mean, the defining factor there is Mikel Arteta, right? I mean, I don't think anybody can kind of say he hasn't had an impact on proceedings at Arsenal, and I think there's every reason to be cautiously optimistic. I think it depends on it really does depend on more than anything who's going, who's leaving the club, who will be coming into the club once the season is finished. Obviously, no Eddie Nketiah. He's suspended. I believe he's suspended. I don't know if I know that they said Arsenal were trying to appeal his red card. I don't know if that got overturned or not. I haven't seen anything to say it has been. But so I'm going to assume that he's obviously suspended. So Lacazette will be starting up front. I think I want my heart wants to say, "Oh, Arsenal win all day long." Yeah, we've got this, but I just, when you just get a funny feeling about a game, I've got a funny feeling about this game. I'm thinking that Spurs might actually win this. I'm not that confident coming into this game.
Well, I think if Tottenham match Arsenal in terms of formation, then there's every reason why Spurs will win today. But if they don't, I can't see past an Arsenal victory. But there will be a full breakdown of, preview of that via a Spursy podcast at 12 o'clock today. So, Gooners, Spurs fans, make sure you tune in on Facebook and on YouTube for a Spursy podcast with Richard Savo. Great bloke. It's a shame he's a Tottenham fan. Right then, kicking off at 12 o'clock. There's a full day of football. Is Wolves versus Everton. Now this is a game.
To this game.
Me too. I do not know which way this game is going to go. It's impossible to call now.
This is a coin flip, and here's the reason why. Both sides are kind of not in great form. Wolves have lost their last 2 games. They haven't scored a goal they haven't scored a goal in either of those games, so they're kind of hit or miss there. Everton also have been a bit up and down as well, haven't they? They lost to Spurs.
It was shocking against Southampton during the week.
Exactly, as well. So, I mean, this could be where we say we look forward to it. This could be a classic. We look forward to it, and it's just a drab 0-0 because both sides are not in form. They're not confident. They don't really know how to hit the back of the net, and we're like, oh well, that was just a waste of everybody's time, wasn't it? But on the other hand, it could be because both sides are not confident and they go for it because the other team's defense is went slightly American then. Because the other opposing team's defense is a little bit shaky, it could rain goals. But I don't know where to go with this one. This really is like a pick a winner sort of thing.
It's a 0-0 or 3 apiece, isn't it? I would not want to put any money on this game.
No. Oh God, no! I stay well clear of this one.
Staying away on the Accas there. Aston Villa, they need something today. They really. We say this about all the teams down the bottom there, but they really need something today. And without a win today, it could put them in a very precarious position.
This is an absolute must-win for them because if they don't, then I think they're down because both Watford and West Ham, they're 2 direct play teams right above them, have both won, so they have to respond here.
Yes, they do.
Especially to make that fixture on the last day of the season against West Ham any kind of relevant.
Yeah, I just feel that if they are going to get a result, it has to be today. Yeah. Because Palace are very similar to the Newcastle situation. Middle of the road. They can't go any higher, really. Nothing to play for. They can't go down. A win here will just make it a little bit more interesting. But if they fail to win, they are 7 points behind Watford with only 3 games to go, and that is not. Yeah, it's not good enough. It won't put them in a good position at all. And then off the back of that is Bournemouth versus Leicester. So very, very, very similar situation. Well, Leicester have everything to play for because they need to concrete themselves into that top 4 position. They don't want to rely on coming 5th just in case. They've been in 3rd all season until now, and it's just a little situation where they could capitulate. But Bournemouth,
unfortunately for Bournemouth, I was going to say, unfortunately for Bournemouth, Leicester actually still have something to play for.
Yeah, exactly. Bournemouth, they're currently 6 points behind Watford and West Ham, who are on 16th and 17th on 34 points. So You know, it's actually I really want it to go down to the last day of the season because I want something to. I like the excitement,
Yeah.
and without it, you know, it's sort of like damp squibby. So, but yeah, that's it from us really. It's more about looking forward to the Arsenal Spurs game today. So we've got a live watch along at 4:15. You'll see my handsome face. You'll see Alex's handsome face. Stephen Buck, part of the Top family, Spurs fan, and Stephen Cotton is a Man United fan, but he likes throwing his £2 worth in as well. So, but yes, make sure you tune in at 12 o'clock. So in about half an hour's time, on a Spursy podcast. So watch what's going on. That'll be on YouTube and on Facebook. And then we'll be back later on at 4:15. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. YouTube at Two Up Top Football, at Two Up Top Football on all social media. And if you put Two Up Top into Google, we come up first. Brilliant stuff. Cheers, people.